After another night at the Hunza Embassy Hotel, we set towards the Baltit Fort. The road leading up to the Baltit Fort is quite steep and can take between 10 to 15 minutes to reach the fort. There are a number of clothing and gift shops and places to eat. Due to the high altitude, it became difficult to breathe.
Oh, they don't take your temperature now.
We climbed up the stairs to the fort and managed to catch the guided tour of the fort in English.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this was the indoor conference room to discuss confidential matters. So in case of any emergency or any important problem, the Mir of Hunza used to discuss his personal matters with friends here. In this room, people believe there was a treasure buried in the ground, like this empty pit is still here. But while the British were advancing towards Hunza in 1891, the Mir of Hunza decided to open it and take all the treasure with him to China. That is why it's very empty now. And we have a carpet also from Xinjiang, from Kashgar. It was heavily damaged, but it has been refabricated and restored. That is why you see these colors are lighter, but the original ones are darker. And just behind us, along the wall, you would notice these are showcases with metal utensils. These were not crafted in Hunza. They used to come to Hunza from northern Afghanistan and also from Chinese Xinjiang through trade. And here now we are going to move towards the royal terrace, please. Please wash your heads in the door. Okay, dear visitors, you are at the royal terrace of the fort. It's very bright sunny day now. The river Hunza flows from east to west. All these trees are being planted. None of them are naturally grown. So we have tall poplar trees, very thick fruit trees. The cultivation started many centuries back from the river bank, and it continued on up to the bases of the mountains. So this is not an area where we have monsoon rainfall. We are depending on just natural irrigation system of the glacier water. We have tiny channels which are helping us to irrigate the land, constructed over the centuries by our ancestors. So across river Hunza you could see the mountain called Rakaposhi. That is 7,788 meters high.
Very tall.
And there are also ibex found in these mountains.
Wow.
No, he stopped you. He saw 11.
Where was it? Pacific Peak?
Okay, dear visitors, you are in the royal reception hall of the fort. We have two photo galleries here. On my right hand, these are the rulers of Hunza state. From left to right, Mir Ghazan Khan, who ruled until 1886. And during his ruling time, Maharaja Kashmir was attempting to conquer the area without any success. And his son Mir Safdar Khan ruled until 1891. He was later defeated by invading the expeditionary British forces because he was more inclined with Russian influence. So he had to escape to Chinese Xinjiang for political asylum. And his brother Mir Nazim Khan was installed under the British rule, who ruled until 1938. So during that time, glass windows were added on the third floor of the fort. And we have Mir Ghazan Khan, the second last ruler of Hunza, who ruled until 1945. In 1945, Mir Ghazan Khan's second passed away, and his son Mir Jamal Khan became the Emir of Hunza. He later decided to join Pakistan on November 3rd, 1947. He wrote a letter of accession to Pakistan to Qaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, who was a governor general then. His son Mir Ghazanfar was the owner of this building, who was also, we had a chance to be the governor of Baltistan in the past. And he kindly agreed to donate this fort to the public trust. And he has a summer residence in Hunza, but he has a winter residence in Islamabad. And she's his wife, Rani Sahiba. She's a lady councillor in the Gilgit-Baltistan Assembly now. And she has 3 sons, and she is also very active for development of women and for their protection in the area. So Salim is her eldest son, who is having a business in Islamabad now. We have various swords, battle shield, and a matchlock gun with daggers for defense. These were the weapons used here heavily in the past. Just above my hand, you will notice the head of a famous mountain sheep. This is called the Marco Polo sheep, just on the wall. It's a huge sheep. We call it rush. They're also found at Khunjarab National Park, but unfortunately, because of unnecessary killings, there are very few are remaining. It is one of the endangered species of the world, but they're also found in Tajikistan and northern Afghanistan. So Pakistan government is trying to protect them and let them grow again. Abraham's first son, Ismail's line, descending to Muhammad, peace be upon him, and from his second son, Ishaq's line, is going to Jesus Christ. So they're cousins actually from Abraham's line.
Interesting.
We are in the summer royal bedroom. In this room, you would notice some papers. These are trade agreements with China from the ancient past. Some of our relations started in 16th century. And these are written in 2 languages, Persian and Chinese. In the past, most of the correspondence occurred in Hunza in Persian language, not in Chinese. And here is the letter of accession to Pakistan. Mir of Hunza decided to join on November 3rd, 1947.
Good thing or bad thing?
I think it was a good decision.
I'm the director for purchasing. We manufacture ankle bracelets for criminals.
Good.
Very busy.
Very busy. Are these bracelets in high demand?
Yes.
Really? Still?
Oh yeah. Because it's an alternative detention to jail. And so it's much.
So this room was in addition to the structure after 1915. This, you see, modern influences started to arrive with the arrival of the British. More peace was here then, no more wars. But our connections with China and Russia and Central Asia were limited then. So the folding chair, a telephone and sofas was a new introduction to the building, which are being repaired and restored again. Ladies and gentlemen, you are in the royal winter bedroom now. In this house, you may see there is a hearth in the middle where the family could sit it around, enjoy the meals at night, and go to sleep on the floor. And there is a cradle for the babies, which is often used still in the houses. And we have 2 handwritten manuscripts of Holy Qurans, authored by local people, written calligraphies by local people. And we have 2 cabins for dried fruits like apricots, walnuts, mulberries, and such things were dried and stored in baskets in case if the children are getting hungry, they want something quick. There's a big tradition here still. So this was the royal winter bedroom. We found these photos through different. So these photos were taken by David Lorimer, who was a political agent at Gilgit between 1920s and 30s. So you would see people of Hunza in their daily activities. Also you would see the old Silk Route connecting Gilgit to Hunza. It was a really demanding trail which took 3 days long walk.
Wow.
And uphill and downhill. Okay, dear visitors, you are in the interior assembly hall of the fort now. It was normally needed when there was very hot outside. or raining. In that case, the emir used to switch over on his royal throne. We have some old items on display which are being gathered now from different people and put it on display. Like paper currency from China from 1920s. It was also sometimes used in Hunza. These are the instruments. We are often using them for outdoor music. And we have matchlock rifles on display. They were heavily used for hunting, for defense, and they were obtained through different means. We have an antique carpet from Xinjiang, from Khutan Valley, where such carpets were knotted and they were colored with herbal dyes. Like colors were extracted from herbs, from plants, and then it was colored. So it's one of the beautiful pieces available here now. Your visit almost is going to end now. Thank you so much for visiting the fort. I hope you may enjoyed it.
Thanks for your time.
So we go downstairs now. Thank you. Hi, nice to meet you. I wish you success and happiness in your life. Very risky sometimes.
Yes. Especially on a slippery rock.
Yeah, be careful. That's what I hope. Yeah, very comfortable.
We made our way down the steep road. Many of the tourists underestimated the walk and were struggling going uphill.
पहुंच आए हैं finally.
We stopped at one of the shops to buy some souvenirs and try some apricot juice.
Bumper profit year, 2010.
Oh, they'll get huge Christmas bonuses again this year for their fraud because the moral hazard in America, and Obama's America, means more Christmas bonuses.
Naturally, we will have to include in this catalogue of horrors Goldman's contribution to the subprime.
We spent some time at the busy side of the Attabad Lake, which has a number of food stalls, jet ski rides and boats.
And he basically gave us an overview of what he considered to be really a map of the Quran. And
Later on that day, we reached our place of stay at Nagar. We stayed at the roomy yurts, which feature some really amazing huts that come with all the amenities needed for guests, such as hot water, heating, and Wi-Fi. We had lamb and spinach with chapatis for dinner. After a good night's rest, we had tomato omelette and paratha and set off back down south.
so those are examples of, but the Quran is a kitab al-mubin, it's a clear book.
We stopped at Gilgit city and bought some dried fruit, which the area is known for.
Religious parties have demonstrated in Pakistani cities, including the capital Islamabad, to condemn what they see as the violation of their country's sovereignty. Numerous protests have been held in the past since the US began its strong strikes in Pakistan.
After a long drive, we spent a night at a local hotel in Naran. In the morning, we set off to Saif-ul-Maluk. To reach Saif-ul-Maluk, you have to take a jeep due to the bad roads along the way. The roads are known to be very dangerous and have a history of deadly accidents. After around 20 minutes of a really bumpy and timed scary ride, you get to see the beautiful Saiful-Maluk lake. The lake is named after a famous fairy tale character. In the mornings you can avoid the big crowds, but the place is unkept and deserves to have some funding to develop the roads and surrounding area around the lake.